Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We are live, and I'm here today, as usual, with Judy from Mama. And today we've got Amanda from Baby Yum Yum. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for joining. I'm very excited, kind of mix it up a bit on a Friday. It's very exciting. Cool. So,
love being here. Sorry, we were running a bit late. As I was busy saying to you before, children, traffic, it's the stuff that we have to deal with on a Friday morning.
Well, I must say, every Friday, Judy and I get on here and we're like, what are we doing?
That is so cool. It's like, and I'm so impressed that you ladies are on here every Friday without fail. We need some tips from you because, that's crazy. Wow, amazing.
The tip is just do it no matter what happens. I don't always know what I'm going to do, but we're here and we just do it.
We just wing it. That's what life's about, right? Just winging it.
100%. Cool. So now that I'm here, let me see, what are we actually doing today? I don't know how everybody else's week has been, but mine has been, I don't even know where to start. We'll get to it.
Apart from the load shedding, the water cuts, work, it's just been insane. And, I actually said to one of my team members the other day, I said, come 1st of December, God, I'm not coming to the office. And he was like, you will be here after the 1st of December. I've never ever had someone tell me when I can go and leave and when I can't go and leave, but I'll be here after the 1st of December because he told me I have to be here because we are just so busy, but I will do it.
I don't know what I'm doing in December, but I'm just going to wing it into 2022 from now because everything, the fourth term, I don't know, it's just from the day the kids got back to school, it's just been thing after thing after thing. And it's this Secret Santa. And then there's a second Secret Santa for the same class.
It's unbelievable. It's like crazy. And because I would imagine, Lynn, that you're like me, you're like a super busy person, and when you want something done properly, give it to a busy person, obviously. So like we're the kind of people who nominate ourselves as like class mom and this and that and that and that, like, do we ever say no? No, because no one's going to do it properly like we do it, right?
I was class mom, I think 3 or 4 years in a row. And this year, when they nominated the class moms, I just stood up and I'm like, it's not happening. And they're like, yeah, but you said that every year. I'm like, no, it's not happening. And I'm not class mom this year. I'm not
next
on the
year.
I'm not class mom. I'm nothing. And you know what? I'm so grateful.
Everyone that's watching this, Lynn has now officially nominated herself as class mom for next year. Yay! Go, Lynn.
I've done a total of, I think, between my two kids, I think I've done about 6 years of class mom. I think my contribution is done. I'm not doing it.
You've done your time.
I'm done.
Yeah. You've done your time. And I've got to tell you as well, I forgot to tell you when I started as well. As Baby Yum Yum, because we love giving away prizes, because like who doesn't love a prize? We are going to be giving away a 500 Rand hamper, a Baby Yum Yum hamper with amazing assorted goodies in it for you to give away at the end of the show, Lynn. So you can decide how you want to give it away, but we are going to give away an awesome 500 Rand hamper of great Baby Yum Yum goodies.
Awesome. We don't really have a format. We just wing it every week.
We just wing it. That's great. So I really thought it would be quite nice just to chat about, we've had so many things happen over the COVID period and, so many development and growth milestones that we've met within the Baby Yum Yum sort of space. So I'm just going to tell you about what an amazing year we've had. But first, I want to show you our amazing wallpaper behind us. Because if you guys have got kids that like drawing on walls, this is wallpaper. And it is a whiteboard, guys. How cool is this? The whole thing, it's like a giant whiteboard. And I hope you can see. I'm actually going to bring you closer. I mean, how cool is this? Check this out. You can actually just like color in.
Oh, that's fantastic. Do you know what my daughter did? I don't know if you can see it, but here's my desk. And I don't know if you can see, she's actually carved stars into my desk. That was this week.
Wow, you have got a very artistic daughter. And you know what? That could be the new way of furniture going into the future. So fully encourage that. Definitely, Lynn. Maybe.
I'm so not impressed.
Oh my word. Now, interesting. Now, I want to ask you, now, how did you handle that? Because this really affects parenting styles. Did you shout at her? Did you scream at her? Did you say, well done, you're so creative? What did you do?
I actually asked her, I said, would you do that at school? And she said, oh, no. And then I looked back, I was a terrible child. I carved all sorts of cuck into my desk at school. And she's like, no, did you? And I'm like, okay, you got me.
And Judy, what would you do if your kids came and drew on your desks and your walls and stuff?
Okay, so Amanda, I am the complete opposite to most moms. There are so many photos of Hamish and I where we've dropped food coloring or egg and we turn it into art. So I'm not too stressed about
really
drawing
fun.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's same. Hamish actually drew on our couch, which is 100 years old. I refused to buy a new couch because I knew we were going from baby through to like 8-year-old. So let's just deal with what we've got. So I've got the most beautiful, it's like a sun monster thing. And his imagination's wonderful. And I looked at him and I said, please don't do that again. And he was, okay. I said, yeah, we used the crayons on the paper. And he went off and he found some paper and he went to go draw. And Brent came home and he was like, hey, on the couch! Because my husband is my opposite. Now we're Hamish. Oh. I cannot trace that. The difference is my eldest child is 30. So I've been through the screaming phases and I've been through the let me try all these different parenting options. So I'm at that phase where I know this is a phase. This will pass. This is something so brief and so not worth getting worked up. And I can either really be nasty and tell him, never draw on my stuff again, and maybe crush a future artist, or I can blink and close my eyes. So we have, I mean, obviously we've got rules. I've got a lot of rules. I'm pretty strict. Shh. The other one left. Hamish, shush, please, I'm busy. We've got a lot of rules.
Are you? I'm just lost.
One.
But not faced if he draws on something. And I'm loving artboard. Please be quiet. How awesome is that artboard, Lynn?
It's absolutely beautiful. Oh, don't worry, you can pop in and out. I do it sometimes.
Great,
too.
love it.
Crack themselves. Where's Lynn?
That's when we worry. That is when we worry.
Judy,
Judy, I love you. Oh no, absolutely. Judy, I love your approach because do you scream and shout at your kids, or do you take that drawing on the wall and put a frame around it and kind of that was the time they drew on the wall and make a moment and a memory out of that. It's interesting how people really handle things. It's interesting how you deal with things. So this week I had the first time where, it hadn't happened to me before. It was obviously the first time where my daughter's teacher is in grade 2. She SMS'd me to say, your daughter has left her swimming stuff at school. Could you please drop it at school? And I was like, okay, sure. And then I sent a message back to the teacher and I said, when my daughter gets home, I'm going to educate her that in my day, in the olden days, this is what happened when you left your stuff at school. Firstly, you had to go and look for the little 20 cents that was stuck with sellotape in your brown suitcase. Remember those suitcases? Then you have to find the dicky box on the school property. Then you have to find the time to actually make the call, and hopefully you would remember your parents' cell number, because you don't have cell number, your home number, and hopefully there'll be someone at home to answer. Then you have to pluck up the courage for your parents to actually bring you the school stuff to school, and then you get a great smack when you got home, when you got later. Now it's just a case of sorry, Mrs. Regaly, can you bring your daughter's stuff to school via WhatsApp? How things have changed, hey? Just things are so simple now. And I think that we've lost so many skills that were so pertinent then, like money and learning numbers and learning how to actually substantiate and look after ourselves and taking responsibility. And it's interesting how we've got so much technology, but we actually fools at the same time.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And on the note of leaving stuff at home, my daughter, she's very highly strung. Everything's got to be perfect. So she'll come home and she'll be like, Mom, this girl didn't tuck her shirt in today. And I asked her to do it and she refused and she didn't do it. And I'm like, she's so much like my older sister, So she's everything has to be just so.
Is she a Virgo?
No, she's a Libra.
whatever she is.
No.
I thought she would have been a Virgo. That's like such a Virgo trait.
No, I can't even remember. She's 29th of October. What is that?
She's on the cusp. She's a Scorpio, and that's so not. I'm a Scorpio. That's so not Scorpio.
Yeah. So I dropped her off. I think it was last week Friday or the Friday before, and I think it was last week Friday. It was so funny. So I'm driving out of the school, and my phone rings. It's my daughter. She's phoning me from the school. Mom, I just realized I've still got my flip flops on. So she wears her flip flops all the time, and I didn't even notice. And now she's phoning. I'm in my flip-flops. Now, the school's in Langebaan. I'm in Saldanha. My live video starts. There's just no way I can drive home, fetch her school shoes, take them to school, and get back in time for my live. And I explained to her, I just said, like, it's just, she said, but mom. And I'm like, I'll just send a message to your teacher, and I'll say, how's it? She's in her flip-flops today. Deal with it.
Just deal with it. Pick your battles, right?
The shock. I mean, if a shirt's untucked, she freaks out.
And here she is with slip-slops on. That things really have changed. I mean, I even remember at school, like back in the olden days, like they used to come and like measure your skirt with the ruler, and the socks had to be at a certain level.
The 2 fingers, yes, above the knee.
Yes. What is that? That's all gone. Things have changed now.
My daughter doesn't give me much grief. So yes, she carved stars with the scissors into my desk. But I was an absolute nightmare. So you're talking about the skirts. You know what I used to do to my mom? She would buy the new skirt, and it used to go like halfway down like your leg, and then she'd measure it perfectly and everything. And then she'd go have a cup of coffee, and she's going to come back and she's going to sew it up. And I take that pin from there and I put it there. So the skirt.
You rebel, you.
And new skirt. And then my mom would do all the stuff, and then I'd put it on the next morning. She's like, oh, what happened? I'm like, I don't know.
You're a terrible seamstress, Mom.
Mom, if you're watching, I'm sorry I never told you about that one. She watches
the truths come out, eh? The truths all come out. Judy, what was the worst thing that you ever did at school?
Me?
No, Judy.
Me.
Oh, good.
Look, in junior school, I was really the calm. I was hardly at school, but I was one of those calm, quiet kids. Then I got to high school and I met my ex-husband, and then I became a little unruly. So I think I was about 16, and I think the worst thing I ever did was cut class. So,
guys, Judy is going for the big time here.
Yeah, I'm not
going because I was studying art at Technicon, so I left school at 15, and I'd gone to, my parents were divorced, I'd gone to Technicon, I'd come back, and I'd had to go stay with my dad, and all of a sudden, he wasn't in for me studying art at Tech, and he wanted me back in high school. And I remember my art teacher was a bully, and she was like, I don't care if you got into art school because you can actually draw, this is what you need to do. And I was like, but why? So, back then you also didn't have an opinion. And she was like, these flowers are blue. And I was, but no, they're gray. What if I want them red? What if I don't like flowers? So I wasn't a really good art student. And I had to deal with her that day. And it just wasn't, it really wasn't what I felt like. So I went to, we had something called the teen teaching room. I went to an all-girls school. And I remember I sat at the back because she wouldn't even know I wasn't there. And some kid in my class ratted me out. And I was like, really? And this woman said someone to come fetch me. And out the entire lesson. I was like, yeah, that's fine. I never liked the class anyway. But what it did teach me was that when you're strong-willed, there will always be somebody out there trying to break that spirit.
There will always be someone trying to break that spirit. And you know what? You can go back to that teacher and say now, like, you are teaching other people to be creative and fun and arty. So like, and I always believe that teachers can either make you or break you. You hear so many stories. Like I look at my husband, he's an actuary. And I remember he always tells me his standard 6 teacher, standards in those days, said to him, I think you should give up maths and go and start typing. And like then he won the maths prize and the science prize. And I always just think, you know what? You've got to have that determination and that tenacity and just like up yours, like just carry on with it because teachers really can make or break you. And there've been so many like instances where teachers just I don't know, change the course of your life, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Just
100%.
on that note, Amanda, I used to teach preschool before I was full-time blogger, but I remember walking into one of my classes. It was an orientation. I was going to start there in a month. And before I walked into the class, I was told about the problem child. I hadn't even got into the class yet. I hadn't even met my class. And the headmistress had warned me, and the other teachers had warned me about, please bear in mind, I taught 4-year-olds. And he was labeled problem child. And I was just like, okay. And I walked into class and it was immediate. It was very evident who this child was that they were talking about, because he was disruptive. He was all over the place. He was clearly not able to desensitize and be part of the group. But he'd also been labeled for the first 6 months of the year as a problem child. So what do we do when people put a label on us? We tend to either rebel it or we tend to go towards it. And it turns out that the boy was actually diagnosed with autism, and this had been overlooked because of his problem with him being disruptive in the class. And I think that it's so important that we really be careful of the labels that we start to put on our children. And as teachers, you hold those little lives, and you're the mommy at school, especially preschool teachers. And it's so important that the things that you're saying to those children, and moms, please, if you're out there, the things that your preschool teachers are telling your children needs to be positive, even if your child is a little misbehaved.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, everyone works their way out in the end. And I see one of your followers saying here, Jezebel Mini saying, and some teachers have their favorites, and it is so wrong. It's so wrong that people do that. I mean, Kamal saying, have your favorite, but don't show it. I agree that many people have their favorites. It's just human nature that you naturally do have your favorites. Whether you're a teacher, whether you're in school, whether you're just in life now, I mean, like, you know, you always have your favorite, but I mean, surely that's a part, and that's such an important skill to develop in life, about how to teach people, how to, how to engage with people equally and how to respect people equally. I think, and that's the problem with society today. We don't know how to respect people equally. And that really stems from the people who are teaching us at school, who show that they don't respect people equally. I think that's, really sad, very, very sad. So I would wish things that people would change. But if you can't get it changing in schools, where do you get it changing from?
Well, talking about the label, and now my daughter, there's a boy in her class that's been labeled the one, but I don't think that comes from the school or the teachers. I haven't heard anything there, but he's definitely got a reputation. And I just think, once you get that label and you've got that reputation, how do you shake that off? And how do you not be that kid when you've got that label? It kind of, it starts that slippery slope. And I feel so awful for this child.
It's terrible. But, you got to look at it also at the same time as well, ladies. I actually did an interesting talk, and it was actually a really cool article that we did on babyyumyum.co.za. And we actually spoke about how so much attention is placed on these kids that are ruled as the problem children. But often when children are labeled as the teacher's pet or the perfect child or something like that, they have so many later effects in life as well, because they are always trying to be perfect and live up to that standard that they've been labeled as, that they're the perfect one, that they're the super achiever, that they're the best ones. And out of that, there come so many other effects and so many things that happen as well. And it just goes down again to the whole thing about self-esteem and psychology and labeling at the end of the day. Zandile here saying labeling is so wrong, and it makes a child feel less important and exactly have low self-esteem. And that unfortunately, and definitely, I think, particularly in the case of women as well, because we're all sitting around the table here and we are women, and most of the women that are on this chat are women, the people that are here are women. I think that it's definitely, we teach it at such a young age, unfortunately, that women are inferior for so many different reasons. And that whole mindset has to change within the school society and within school system. And even just in our homes and our surroundings, things have to change. Why is it that only men drive trucks? Why is it that only women do sewing? Things like that really have to change. I mean, I think that there's a place for everything in life, and I'm not about they bees and it's and thems, but, I think those sort of things really need to change in even in our homes.
But that babies is a very interesting discussion. I mean, I don't know if anybody's heard of babies. Now, I'm all for the LGBTQ plus community. My sister's, she's gay, and my uncle's gay, and I've got a cousin that was a guy but appears to now be a girl. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. It's not a close cousin of mine, but it's very interesting to watch on Instagram. So I'm not, and I do agree, like my little sister was very much a tomboy. She didn't want to wear dresses. She hated wearing dresses to school. She refused to wear dresses at home. She loved cars and He-Man and Skeletor. And, I had the Barbies and she had the Skeletor. But the babies thing is a bit strange. So if anybody hasn't heard about it, I haven't read too much on it. Judy, I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's, I read that there's a whole movement now of people that are saying that we mustn't label a child when they're born. We mustn't call them a girl or a boy because they must choose their gender. Now, I'm a very big supporter of the transgender community. I've got a couple of friends in that in that community. So I'm not saying if somebody is transgender, it's wrong. That's not what I'm saying at all. But this movement is saying that we mustn't call a baby him or her. We must call them a baby so that when they are old enough, they can decide if they are a girl or a boy. What do you think?
Judy? So we've actually, we've written, actually, we've had so many discussions about this and so many articles about this. And we are at Baby Yum, we are so progressive in terms of the content that we're putting out and really being so inclusive of everyone, because that's who we are and that's how we stand for and that's how we believe that we empower people. But it's very, very interesting to see people's takes on it. And I almost just feel that, as a parent, you need to obviously give direction to your kids and then let them make their own choices. But I think that you need to just basically lay down the roadmap and give them the direction for them to then make for them to make the choices. I don't think that you should give a child an open playing field with absolutely no choices and absolutely no direction, because we all know children need boundaries, children need direction, and that is what makes them secure.
Yeah, totally. So Melanie says,
I think the most important part in this that we live in such a progressive time and things have changed. If I look at how I parented 30 years ago to how I parent now, there's definitely huge changes and we see it. And I think the most important thing is, I totally agree with you, Amanda. I really do agree that we need to guide our children. Obviously, how they choose their gender, how they choose the rest of their lives will also be their choices. You need to guide them when they're little. And I do believe, though, that one of the things that we need is become more inclusive. And that means being tolerant and respectful of those who perhaps think differently than we do. So if I have a friend who perhaps refers to her child in a gender-neutral term, and I don't, that's okay. We're still parents, we're still moms, we're still doing exactly the same. We're still there, we're still doing what we believe is the best for our children. We don't necessarily have to both parent in the same way. And I think that's where we need to start focusing our conversations, is because we're all here going, I do positive parenting, I do equal parenting, I do breastfeeding, no. We parent. And we parent to the best of our abilities and to how we know best. And when we learn better, we do better. And these are the conversations we need to start having. We need to be more inclusive, more tolerant, more respectful of other parents, and more accepting of moms who don't think the way we do.
Absolutely. And I think everyone's just so social media sized, so to speak, that, I think a lot of people jump on the bandwagon of all of these terms and these trends and stuff without actually understanding the long-term effects and the actual fundamental reasons why people choose to do these certain things. And I think that that's really important to actually understand that, and why you would want to do these things for your family and for your children, as opposed to just agreeing with everyone else or not agreeing with everybody else. I think that that's really, really important. So yeah, I mean, that's been a really interesting topic also that we've been covering at Baby Yum Yum. And I think, I think what's great to see is that a lot of your followers on the chat now this morning have really been really interactive in terms of a lot of the comments that they've been saying now about this as well. Parents must guide and give direction. I love how the world is opening up into such discussions. It helps a lot. It gives people information. And I think that really goes back to the core of, what I was saying in the beginning about how things have changed so much over this COVID period, and particularly for us at Baby Yum Yum. But our essence has always been about educating and empowering parents, because without information and education, you can't empower people. And at Lynn and Judy, I just feel that as women in South Africa and as mothers and around the world, we've almost lost sense with that that gut instinct, that like actual feeling in our stomach that we know whether things are right or wrong, or whether our children are sick or they're not, or whether they should do this or shouldn't do that. We've lost that maternal instinct because we're so busy listening to what everyone else says on social media and in our conversations, as opposed to actually knowing what's right for us and our family based on all of the information that we've been given. And that's why we, here's information on formula, here's information on breastfeeding. Now go make your own choice, because you as a mother and you as a woman know what is right for your family.
I love that, Amanda. And I think, and this is quite interesting, there was I don't know when it was, I think it was maybe the beginning of this year or last year, where I was quite flame grilled on my page with people sending me some rather aggressive messages. And the topic was
that must have been fun.
Well, it was around abortion. There was a woman that indicated she wanted an abortion, or she'd chosen already that she's going to have an abortion. And she inboxed me and she asked me to post a question on my page. And the question was, how can she prepare? What can she expect? And what should she do afterwards, to heal and recover? Now, that doesn't mean I'm for abortion. Okay. I've got very conflicting views about abortion myself. And, so for me personally, abortion wouldn't be an option, but I can certainly understand why somebody would for their own reasons, which can include things like danger to yourself. Maybe your baby is not developing properly and is going to come out deformed.
There's a multitude of reasons, Lynn, a multitude.
And the thing is, it's not up to me to decide for that mom. What I read was, she's going to have an abortion. She needs help with these things. And I said to her, I can post the question on my page, but I'm telling you now, you are going to have, I'm sure, some very helpful comments, but there's going to be a lot of negativity. So prepare yourself for that. And I'm warning you, do you or do you not want me to post the question? She said, please do. So I did it. And it's interesting because my stance is, I support moms. And we have so many different problems. And I might not agree with what you're going to do.
Yeah.
But my platform is a platform for moms supporting moms. We don't have to agree with each other. So it's quite interesting. Afterwards, I had a lot of messages. I had people threatening me. I had people telling me they're going to leave my page. And I said, look, you can leave my page. That's fine. And I had a friend of mine phone me from down the road saying, people are unliking your page. They're unfollowing, they're leaving. And I said, yes. And I chose to help this woman because she needs help.
And you know what, Lynn? You didn't just help her. I promise you now, you helped hundreds of other women who needed the same advice, but did not come forward and ask the question. So for all of those unlikers who unliked your page, who are now back, obviously, because that's what happens. They like to make a statement and unlike you. Bleh, that's all I can say. Bleh, to them, really. I
know people have got very strong feelings about abortion, and that's fine too. You can have strong feelings about abortion, but I think I was perfectly prepared. I knew what would happen if I posted that. I was well aware of what would happen. So I was happy to do that because it's standing up to what I personally believe in, not abortion exactly, but supporting moms. So yeah, I think, it's a very, when you put yourself out on social media and you put yourself out there online, you've got to know that you've got to choose, what do you stand for? And then you've got to follow that through.
Lynn, you're always going to be chastised. But the bottom line is that this woman came forward. She dug deep within herself to find the courage to ask that question, which a lot of people think is a very topical conversation. It is. But tomorrow someone might come forward and ask you a question about coloring their hair, and maybe that could have been a really, really difficult question for them to ask the courage about coloring up their gray. But again, it's coming forward and having the strength to ask questions and then giving those people the support that they need, as opposed to just lambasting them because you don't agree with their views. If someone is asking for help, if you see someone getting knocked down on the side of the road, you're going to stop and help them. You're not going to say, sorry, can you tell me your race, religion, you're this, and then I'll decide if I'm going to help you.
Yeah. Well, my advice on that topic, though, was that there's the physical thing of having an abortion. And I've had a miscarriage. So, I know how hard it is to lose a baby. And I think for me, the physical side wasn't so bad, but the emotional side of losing a baby. And funny enough, I managed to connect it with someone that had had an abortion very close to the time that this question was asked. And they connected and supported each other. So, the end result was that she got the support she needed, which was quite heartwarming.
What I was going to say,
absolutely.
We talk so much about pregnancy, and we prepare mom pregnancy and for those beautiful months, and now we prepare them for the 4th trimester, but we don't talk enough about miscarriage, abortion, about stillbirth. These are things that are still very much taboo in our societies. We just don't talk about them. And it's because those are hard conversations. And I think that these are hard conversations that our platform should be having more of. Our views are our views, but I definitely think that it's topics we need to be getting out there so that parents and moms can make educated and informed decisions. And also to know they're not alone, Lynn.
Absolutely. And it's the support it's going through. And I think as public figures, I say public figures, I mean public, support figures from a social media and from an online perspective. It's our job not to judge. It's our job to support people that come forward and feel that they can open up in a safe space to ask us questions. So when I hear that people are being unliked or unfollowed or being given threats because they've opened up a safe space for other people, it actually just breaks my heart, and it makes me think, you know what? Who am I doing this for? I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for people out there. I'm doing it for other people out there.
Yeah, definitely. And Pakame says hard conversations must be dealt with. You never know who you're helping. And I think, that's it. We are in this place, we're in the public space. And I think we need to deal with all those subjects that that people don't really want to get into.
Absolutely. People don't want to get into them. And they're all very happy to sit on their couches and make comments and type away at their keyboards. But, actually coming up and addressing things face to face is always very, very hard. I call them keyboard warriors, because there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there, as you've faced, Lynn, and I'm sure you've faced it sometime as well, Judy.
Definitely.
You know what? I love the people who follow me, and I've had the most amazing Facebook community for years now. And I must admit, I don't get many keyboard warriors. I've had quite a few on Instagram, believe it or not. So I have a love-hate relationship with Instagram, and I get a lot of DMs in my Instagram with a lot of opposed opinions, and it's okay. Because the best part is you can just scroll past my account. Nobody's asked me to Exactly.
I think also when you approach those subjects and the keyboard warriors come out, if they unlike my page, then it's kind of like it's okay, because I've been authentic. And I'm more interested in engaging with like-minded people, moms that support moms, and the ones that run away because they don't like what I have to say. That's okay. You don't have to like what I have to say, and you don't have to follow my page, and you don't have to join in if you don't want to. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm okay with the drop in fans.
Absolutely. So, it's about giving people information to make their own decisions, but it's really important to make your own decisions based on credible and factual information that you have. And I see here we've got Rebecca Schultz saying, keyboard warriors, definitely. Ha 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 ha. And Lisa already saying, hashtag discussion, hashtag win, hashtag competition. Okay, people want prizes, people want competitions. So, Judy, the question is, and Lynn, the question is, how are we going to give away this baby yum yum 500 Rand hamper? What do people have to do to get it?
Well, they're doing it. They're commenting. They're all over the place. Amanda, it's your hamper. Do you want to choose a winner?
Lynn, it's your platform. You get to choose.
I usually choose all of the winners.
Yes.
Have you got a suggestion?
Okay. So Amanda, you ran the Baby Yum Yum virtual platform this year, and it was amazing.
Virtual parenting experience, yes.
It was so great. I know you've got another one coming up next year. So how about people that can tell us when it's happening next year? And you want to tell us about that?
Oh,
Okay.
I know it's on your Instagram. Oh!
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, don't do that then.
I'm holding it all in suspense.
Okay.
I'm holding it in suspense. But what I can tell you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a question. Let's see how connected our communities are. What is the name of Baby Yum Yum's mascot? He's a beautiful bear and everyone loves him. Does anyone know the answer? Anyone?
He's really
I
gorgeous.
don't know the answer.
How can you not know the answer? He is like my child. In fact, I'm like releasing a set of books about him.
Yes,
He is just beautiful.
Because I've seen all those photos of him in various poses, and it's beautiful.
Thank you. His name is something with a B. No, Damien Robert, you cannot answer. His name is Someone.
Nicole.
No, you can't answer either, Nicole.
She did. She just came on
Baby Yum Yum Bear.
There's a
That I'm looking for
other Baby Yum Yum.
He's the cutest thing in the world. Someone got it.
Answered.
Okay, someone got it.
I'm going to show you
Nicole,
now.
you're very naughty. Okay,
Wait,
Nicole got it.
The wrong one up. Wait. No, man. I'm going crazy. Karen.
No, wait. I'm telling you who got it first. The first person that got it, I mean, after Nicole put it there was Taryn.
And after I said it out loud because of Nicole. That was so bad.
No, but it can't be Nicole because Nicole works for
After
me.
Nicole.
So we've got Taryn, Tassie, Taylor.
After Nicole.
It's Taryn,
Yes.
Tassie,
Taryn.
Taylor. Yes.
See, I told you that we wing it, Amanda.
We wing it, guys. Taryn, well done. We will get your details from Lynn and we will send you an awesome Baby Yum Yum hamper full of amazing Baby Yum Yum items worth 500 Rand. And I think today has been great in terms of all the chats and the comments and how we've just winged it literally and spoken about all the strangest of things. And we didn't even speak about what we were supposed to speak about, but that's okay. Doesn't matter.
That's fine. But do you want to tell us quickly about the baby bump?
Sorry, say that again. I didn't catch that.
I hope you didn't catch it. The Baby Yum Yum boom. Tell us quickly about that.
The Baby Yum Yum boom. So what it really is that Baby Yum Yum has just gone like, and we really are at the moment the fastest growing parenting community. And COVID has been a huge blessing to us in terms of the fact that we've just taken on so many followers in our community. We've really had to get going on all of our, you innovate yourself and pivot and stuff. So COVID's been amazing for us. We've taken on so many readers and advertisers and followers and so many more innovative things. So we had the virtual parenting experience. We redid our beautiful office with all of these gorgeous things here, which I absolutely love. And we've just got so many other things coming. The things that we speak about and the things that we advertise on Baby Yum Yum in terms of what we actually do in terms of being a content portal, that's like a minute portion of what Baby Yum Yum actually is. We have so many other different offerings and stuff. I mean, we do stuff within corporate workspace. We do stuff within medical aid schemes. We do so many other things. But just purely from the content point of view, it has been the most phenomenal 18 months from a growth perspective for us. And I say that because I think that it's really important. And, as you've built your communities, Lynn and Judy, it's something about having your communities that, just make your job so much worthwhile every single day. Like you come in and everyone just gives you comments and reads your articles and enters your competitions, and everything is just absolutely amazing. And like, for example, this year we've got the Baby Yum Yum Product of the Year Awards, which closed last week, and we've actually just announced all of the followers now on our page, all of these different brands that people vote for. And we had this is our third year now, and it's just been growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And it's just amazing to see how like things grow when you love and you put your soul and your spirit into it, and when you have an amazing team around you. Like I always say, I surround myself with brilliant people because they make me look great, like really clever, because they're really clever. And that's really it. I think that you have to open yourself up, and you have to allow other people around you who come with amazing skills and amazing energy and amazing talent, and they're like, you know, they're the engine in the fuel in the plane that just makes it take off every day. So we've just had an amazing year, and it's the likes and the support as well of like the Lyns and the Judys and stuff who work together with us on our Baby Yum Yum community. Because, you know, there's no such thing as, oh, I don't want to talk to someone because, you know, they're in the same space as I am. The pie is big enough for every single person. And I think particularly like in this online sort of space, people feel, oh, no, I'm not going to do anything with her, or I'm not going to share anything with her because then I'm not going to get this follower or that advertiser or this. Like, share. And I reach out to you, and I'm like, Lynn, thanks. Kaboutjie, awesome. Thanks for the support. Absolutely amazing. Like, we love it, you know. It's so awesome to work together with people who feed off the same energy and have the same like actual end result of empowering and educating moms and supporting people at the end of the day.
I love that, because, and I've spoken about this. Judy and I have discussed this in and out in so many videos. There's a lot of, I mean, I don't want to like slam anybody in my video. I'm all about lifting people up and collaborating, but there is this cliquey sort of vibe where we're a competition and I'm going to stand on your head to get above. And I just find that really distasteful. I'm the biggest growing community, by the way. I'm kidding. No, you know, we can do so much more. We can achieve so much more by teaming together and working together, collaborating, than we can as viewing each other as competition and kind of fighting for that top spot.
Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely. And I see. Sorry, just a question here, if you don't mind, if I can answer it. Sasha Luck van Wyk saying, Amanda, I was just about to ask you how you grow your business, blog, mind, body, spirit, be fully committed, because I focus on two things. Number one is passion. Everything that you do needs to have passion in it. And I think, and no matter how hard it is, it's those hard days that you appreciate the good things the most, and vice versa. But as soon as you don't have passion and you lose the passion, it's time to move on and change to something else. And inspiration. If there's one word that I have to use to to describe myself, it would be inspiration. And I feel that that's what gets me up in the morning and gets me going, is to like actually inspire people, no matter whether it's just waving at someone on the side of the road, or getting my team to put out amazing content, or making a brand look great. It's about inspiring and leading to action by people, I suppose.
100%. I love what you say there. You know, for me, the feeling of getting up in the morning, and I know you guys probably have this whole like calendar plan, content ideas and stuff. Me, I just get up in the morning and I'm like, hey, what am I doing today? What excites me? And then I do that. So I just wing my business the whole way. Maybe I would grow a lot faster if I followed some sort of a plan. But for me, it's about, I love loving what I do. I love being able to get up in the morning and feel inspired and share whatever is going on for me at that time.
It's the passion. It's the passion.
Yes.
It's about owning your space and the person that you are, and being fully committed to who you are and passionate about who you are, and in love with yourself. It's very important to love yourself. So I think that's I think where I'm going to leave off today, and that's really my word for today, is about whatever you do, love what you do, find that passion, and love yourself. Some people find it hard to love themselves, but it's so important to love every part of yourself, from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. You need to love yourself, because that just comes out wherever you go and whatever you do.
Absolutely beautiful. I love that. And that's a whole new discussion on its own. Taryn, just inbox me on my page so that I can connect you with Amanda, and we'll take it from there. Just an inbox to Kaboutjie for your
Brilliant.
prize.
Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you for joining. This was lots of fun.
Chatting.
It's so much more different having somebody else join us. Yeah.
Anytime, I'm always up for a chat. Next time, I'll come with my Red Bull in hand, because that's like how I start my day, with a Red Bull, not a coffee. But I was running a bit late today. So any Friday you want me here, I'm back. We can talk about a whole host of things. I love it. Thank you so much, ladies. And thank you very much to your amazing followers from Kaboutjie, Lynn. Thank you so much. And Judy, obviously to you and your followers, and Fun Mama, and your amazing work. Thank you so much. We love your stuff.
Awesome. Have a good weekend.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was so much fun.
It was. I love how funny Amanda is.
And I was thinking, ooh, add a Red Bull to that.
I must tell you that I don't drink energy drinks, but I am trying one called Twizzler this week.
Okay, awesome. I don't do energy drinks like Red Bull. You know that.
I don't drink them.
You're breaking up there.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I was
just
saying,
I'm just going to put you on mute.
Energy drinks. We've got Bongeka. She started following me when I had a shop. Yes, Kaboutjie started off as a online baby store. So, yeah, and my baby's 10 now. So I started the business just after my daughter was born. And then I changed it from an online store to a blog because I fell in love with blogging to grow my business. So it's been an amazing journey. Awesome. So Rebecca says energy drinks get it through the day. And Sasha wants to have a discussion sometime on bullying. Yeah, we can do bullying. Absolutely no problem. In fact, my son went through, he's now in grade 2, but at the end of grade R, I don't know, he was absolutely fine at school. And then towards the last 3 weeks or so of the 4th term of grade R, he was bullied quite a bit. And it was absolutely heart-wrenching. So in the beginning, there was just 1 or 2 little instances. And then it increased, and it got to a stage where, Judy, my son well. He's an absolute ball of energy. My mom says that my son reminds her of a Labrador. If anybody's had a Labrador dog, you can shout at it and, it'll put its tail between its legs for 30 seconds, and then suddenly it's wagging its tail, and it's like, it's ready. My son, he's up for anything. He's energetic. If I say to him, do you want to? And before I've even said what we're going to do, he's like, yes, yes, yes. So he is an amazing, he's so different from my daughter. My daughter is beautiful. She's sweet. She's kind, but she's also anxious and shy. My son is he's confident. He just goes out there. And towards the end of this bullying incident, he would come home from school with his shoulders like this. He would walk in. His bag would drop off his shoulder. He climbed on the couch. He lay on his face on the couch, and he wouldn't move. He wouldn't eat for the whole day. This happened for about 4 days in a row. I had to pick him up from the couch at the end of the day and put him in his bed like that, straight from school.
Oh.
So the effect that it had on him, it broke my heart. And the thing is, if my daughter had behaved like that, she sulks. She, you know what I mean? She just she drives me crazy sometimes. So, it's heartbreaking for me. And I went into the school a number of times, and there was a process that we went through. First, the teacher spoke to the kids, then the teacher spoke to the parents, then the parents were called into the school. And I got to a stage where I actually went into the school at the end, and I said, you've gone through all of this. What's next? Because quite frankly, it's my kid or theirs. You know what I mean? But the effect that bullying has on our kids is absolutely huge. But then the end of year came, and he moved to grade 1. And there's 1 or 2 little things that happened, but it wasn't the same intensity, and it kind of resolved itself. I did go to the primary school, and I had a meeting with the teacher within the first week. And I just said, if I come in like a crazy woman, it's not because I'm a crazy woman. It's because this is the end of the story. It's not the beginning of the story. It's the end. And I would like it to be dealt with as if it is the end of the story. And I'd like you to speak to the preschool, and I'd like everything to be followed over, because if anything happens with these few children and my son, they're boys. I said, if it's anybody else that kicks him in the face, I'll just brush it off as boys being boys. I said, but if anything else happens with these particular children, it's got to be taken really seriously. And thankfully, the teacher took it very seriously. She made written record of it and everything. Yeah, so, but for me, it was only a period of a few weeks that it went on. So it's not like it was a ongoing thing that went on for years or months even. But I can definitely say that, when your child gets bullied, the effect on the child can be devastating, absolutely devastating.
So I want to tell you, Lynn, that Hamish was at school in the beginning of the year, and Hamish is you know Hamish. He gets on with everybody. He's really easy. You can pretty much put him in. He's very sociable, so you can put him into a group of children, and he plays nicely. He shares his toys. We don't normally have a problem if kids come to play. He's a normal 4-year-old, but 5-year-old, sorry. But we don't have a problem if we take him somewhere. And he integrated from homeschool to school really well, and there was no issue with him not sharing or any of that. But there was a group of children in the school. I often find that with Hamish's age, there's a lot of only children or first children in his class, as has been, and obviously I'm a bit of an older mom, so Hamish has got older siblings. And the children don't yet have those skills to share or to verbalize how they're feeling. And one of the first things that we've done is with Hamish is, sorry guys, I just need to say this. Hamish, please shut your door while you are being a ninja. Thank you. So one of the first things we did was he's being bribed, people. I told him he can go ride games at the arcade tomorrow if he is quiet. And he is working so hard because Auntie Lynn's going to tell him if he won it or not. but yeah, so one of the first things we've done is we've given Hamish the vocabulary to be able to express how he feels really early. We've given him the confidence to tell us how he feels. And we've also given him the knowledge that he's allowed to say, no, I don't like that. I don't want to play with you right now. This is too rough. This is not okay. So these are things that we've taught him to say. And there was a group of little boys, and I had witnessed from watching. Obviously, my teacher eyes noticed these things. I do think it is more about with girls currently at the moment, Siska. I really do. Having brought up a teenager now, you definitely see a lot more girls bullying in the schools than you did a few years ago. But so my teacher eyes had checked out these kids, and I'd seen their behavior, and they were really rough. And we'd had a few incidences where Hamish had been knocked off a bicycle, but nothing serious. And Hamish came home the one day, and he started hitting me. My quiet, calm, agreeable child, Lynn, went chaotic and started hitting me and screaming and shouting. And I calmed him down, sat down, asked him what had happened. And this one child had hurt him. And the teacher had said, I'll deal with it later, and had sent everyone home and not dealt with it. So the child was I don't want to call it a problem child. They were dealing with certain issues that the child had, that they needed to still teach him certain social skills, but overlooking that they were more than just that child in the class, and had not bothered to deal with his issue, and had now overlooked my child, who was well behaved. Now, I must just tell you, this was the last day Hamish attended school. So I got onto the phone with the teacher, and I chatted to her, and she made excuses for this child. Now, I am a teacher. I get it. I understand. I fully sympathize with this child, but I'm a mom when I phone you, so I don't care. What are you doing about my child? And I think that this is the very important question I need to say to all moms out there. You know your child best. You know if your child is acting out against bullying. You know your child needs to be protected. Your child needs you to advocate for them. You need to walk in that classroom and not take no for an answer, not take their excuses. We actually have bully systems within our education department that should be implemented in each school. Most times it's not. I know this from years ago when my older sons were bullied at school. These are not implemented. Most schools say if it happens outside of the classroom, there's nothing they can do about it. I had one of my boys being held up by 4 boys in the bathroom. We've had my daughter being sent vicious messages on her phone in high school. Yes, there is something you can do about it, because these are threats to our children, and if need be, you can lay charges. Maybe not against the child, but against the parent. And it seems excessive. It really seems excessive.
Not really, Judy. And I think this is the hard thing, is that I know that these boys that were going for my son were going through a tough time at home, and some of the things I know it was awful what they were going through. So my heart bleeds for them. But now you're coming and you are abusing my child. So while I understand that these children are going through a tough time, they cannot go to school and take it out on my child. And I said that to the school. I said, there's a line's got to be drawn now. I have been very understanding. I have been very calm. I have spoken to you. You've spoken to the parents. Everything's gone the route it should have. Now we've gotten to a point where we've done everything that can be done along the normal lines. You followed all the procedure. Now what? And that's when I said, now it's come to a stage where it's my child in your school or it's their child in the school. And your child is abusing my child. So what now? And then the school year ended. And thankfully it didn't go further than that. And my heart goes out for the moms of those other kids, because I know they were going through some really, really tough stuff. But then it's affecting my child. And here's another interesting thing. So you said that Hamish hit you. And this is another thing. Like my son's quite rough. He'll run up at me, jump on the couch, and like fly onto my head being a monkey. But it's not viciousness. Okay, it's my child being, like you said, now stop being a ninja. Yeah. It's my kid being a ninja. So, yeah, but during that period, there were a number of times where my son attacked me. He physically attacked me. He was screaming. His face was full of hatred, and he was pummeling me. And I took it. You see, because I'm his safe space. He's got all this anger, all this frustration, all this pain, and I'm his safe place. And I let him, I tried to pin his arms down. It was quite painful. But, we need to understand that this is a result of that bullying and that anger, and not to come down too hard on him and try to calm him down, not shout at him, and then have a conversation with him and say, I understand that this is everything coming out sideways. I'm just grateful that, for me, we didn't have to take it further. But the one kid was going up behind my son, putting his arm around my son's neck like this and ripping. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous. So, if it didn't stop, it would have gone further. And I'm just grateful that it appears to have resolved itself now.
You know what I think, Lynn, is the great thing is that a teacher needs to be neutral. So the teacher needs to be in a space where she is governing the class, but in a neutral manner, removing obstacles. So if you know the child is bullying and they specifically bully that child, keep an eye out. If it looks like it's getting out of hand, intervene, that sort of thing. But as a mom, you are your child's advocate, finish. You don't need to be anything other than that. You don't need to be in a neutral space. If your child is hurting, you are hurting. Naturally, we need to be emotionally intelligent enough to deal with it so that we're not like in the bully child's face. And we need to be sensitive enough to know that the bully is not always a bully because they just want to hurt your child. There's usually a lead to that. But the problem with little children, and I specifically speak about preschoolers and that, is that once a preschooler is bullied, there's one of two ways that goes. You either stop it or your child becomes bullied. So
Yeah.
that is where, and in primary school, it gets worse. If your child is bullied, they may assume they need to bully other children to fit in. In high school, you now see young girls who are cutting arms, older children, boys do it too, but you see your daughters and your sons are cutting, they're leading, they're now using substances to try and get over that, they're becoming depressed, they lose interest in their schoolwork. It becomes such a big problem, and that follows them. It's not something that, and you normally find a pattern, you normally find that it's a child who has refused to surrender to somebody a little bit stronger than them. And when I say stronger, I don't always mean physically stronger. It could be somebody who's verbally stronger, or somebody who's just taught from home to hurt people, and not intentionally, because they're literally just acting out what they've seen. So we get it. As moms, we do get it. But our job is not to get it. Our job is to advocate for our children.
And it's interesting how it happens, because what the first incident at school, funny enough, was I picked my son up from school and I said to him, "How was your day?" And he said, it was the worst day of my life. Shame. When your son says that to you, he goes, "It was the worst day of my life, Mommy." And I'm like, "What happened?" And he said to me, because a group of boys told him to hit another boy and do your worst of your worst to him. So I thought,
Yeah.
Okay, so why is that so bad? And he just looked down, and I said, "So you hit him, didn't you?" And he just looks down. So I said, "So a group of boys got you to gang up on another boy, and you were obviously hit him because you were scared that you would be hit if you didn't." And he just goes, "Yes, Mom." So I said, "Well, you know what? This is going to happen in life. You're going to be drawn in to be part of the crowd and pushed to do something you don't want to do. So you did something you don't want to do. You feel rotten. You know it was the wrong thing. That's why you feel so bad. You know you did the wrong thing out of fear." And he said, "Yes." I said, "Well, what we do is we need to go to the school. We need to apologize to that boy. We need to tell the teacher what happened and your part in it. You need to own up. You need to take responsibility for it. That mother needs to know what's happening. The teacher needs to know what's happening." And I said to him, now the question is, this was a life experience. So you need to just take it. You need to learn from it. What are you going to do next time? What is your choice going to be? And he's like, "I don't know." So I said, "Well, we need to talk about this. You need to decide, are you going to do the right thing? Or are you going to protect your own skin and do the wrong thing?" And we had a long conversation about it. And I think what happened was, because of that incident, it got turned on him. So I think that's ultimately what happened. So we did have lots of talks about it. So it gets complicated. And somebody said maybe the boy was watching WWE, the one that was going for my son. It's not actually that. There was a very sad thing that happened in that household where abuse was going on, and the one parent managed to get away from the other one and stuff. So it is a complicated situation, and I don't like to point fingers. It's just sometimes things are just crap, and life deals a low blow. So that boy did go through hell. He really went through hell. But it affects, so it has a ripple effect,
So I'm just reading Bondakella's comment here, and she said her child was bullied at school. And that, I think, is the worst type of bullying that you can do. Teachers are, as I said earlier, teachers are mummies at school. They're not teachers, not at that age. And I do not believe that a preschool teacher is just a teacher. You're a mommy from the minute you get to school. And if you even suspect that your teacher is treating your child in any way that isn't respectful, please bring it up. Please move your child to another school. And I say that in all honesty, because I do believe that if your teacher, your preschool teacher, is not treating your child like a mommy, then she shouldn't be in that class. And I feel very, very strongly about that. I've worked with some amazing, wonderful, fantastic teachers, but I've also seen one or two that really do not belong in a classroom. And I hate saying that, but please, if at any stage you walk into that classroom, your preschool classroom, and you feel that that is not a mommy kind of space, like I've obviously got to teach your children, but if your teacher is not as caring as a mommy would be, they shouldn't be in that classroom.
Yeah,
I really do feel so strong about that.
Well, it's my conversation, you know, and I'm the kind of parent, and I think Judy, you're the same, where I don't leave my kids anywhere. I mean, they go to my mom and my dad and my father-in-law and my sister-in-law and my sisters and my parents, but they don't go anywhere else. I don't leave them anywhere. In fact, for the first time ever, my kids had a play date this week because I had a doctor's appointment. I couldn't take my kids to it, and I had to see the doctor, and I had nowhere else to leave them. My sister-in-law was busy. My mother-in-law was busy. My father-in-law was too far away for me to get the kids to. So I left them there for a short period of time. But I don't leave my kids anywhere. So if I go and I leave my child at school, they need to be protected and looked after as if I was sitting there. So, yeah.
You asked if teachers are trained to deal with bullies. They are trained to deal with classroom situations. They are trained to teach emotional intelligence. But a lot of it also comes from home. As moms, when you're sitting at home, you're not going to go, okay, great, so I gave birth to this baby and I'm going to wait until it's 5 and then I'm going to send it to school and the teacher's going to teach it. What we as moms need to be doing is we need to be teaching our children from little. So as I've mentioned, one of the things that we did with Hamish was we built his vocabulary so that he would be able to tell us how he felt. We built his emotional intelligence so that he would be able to explain the emotion that he was feeling. We hold space for him if he doesn't feel like when he came home and he hit me, I was able to step back and go, hang on a second, my child isn't just being a little brat here. This is not his normal behavior. What is going on? And so we hold space for him. We allow him to speak to us. These are things that are not going to be taught in the classroom. Your teacher's busy. Most of the time she's got 30 to 40 kids. She is overwhelmed. She's doing her best. But it does start at home. And I say that so often because, again, I remember going into the class and it's the saddest thing that happened is one of our students had beautiful mommy. She was so well put together. Never seen anybody look so amazing every single morning. This woman had high heels, her makeup was beautiful, and her child's bag had not been emptied for 2 weeks, and there was old cupcakey things in there and party packs and whatever, and I nearly lost mine. Okay, it starts at home. As much as I say so it sounds like a contradiction, but as much as I say your preschool teacher's got to be your mommy in class, I mean, they've got to love you, they've got to hug you, they've got to wipe those tears, they've got to understand how you're feeling, they've got to teach you something, but that does not take away the key role that parents play in educating their children first and always.
Yeah, and on that, Judy, like when my son went through that bullying period, I didn't just, it's the school's fault, they need to fix it. Yeah. I needed to teach my son, and that first incident, I said, so you're feeling so bad because you know you did the wrong thing, and I know why you did the wrong thing. It's because of this. You were scared. So it's about finding those teachable moments and teaching him how to do things. And we had a conversation, and the one moment my son looked up and he felt, you could see him. One day my husband came home and he said to him, if this happens to you one more time, he said, I'm going to go into that school and I'm going to blast every single one of them. He said, I'm going to go into the principal's office. I'm going to drag the teacher in there. I'm going to get the parents of that kid in. And my son looked at me and says, you're going to leave work and you're going to go do that. And he said, if one more kid touches you, your mother and I are going in there and we're going to start a war. And the look on my son's face, because my husband works long hours. He doesn't even take off time when he gets sick. If I ask him, take off time, get off early so we can go away for the weekend. No, I can't take time off. So when my husband said to him, your mother must phone me as soon as anything happens. I'll drop everything and I'm going to get to that school and we're going to get in there. We're going to sort it out. You know, they need to know that you are on their side.
Yeah. I think that's so important, Lynn. Like Hamish needs to know it's okay if you break a glass. And this is where it starts. It's okay if you broke the glass. It's a glass. Really, I'm going to buy more glasses. Like maybe like that glass, but it's okay. You drew on the wall. That's fine. Let's do it again. You broke something. We'll try fix it. You smacked somebody. Go and apologize. You see, because that's also important. We're very quick to go, oh, my darling. Oh my gosh, you've been hurt. But are we doing the same and going, you hurt somebody, go back and apologize? We don't call people stupid. Stop that. That behavior is not appropriate. So I think it boils down to two things. We need to be our children's advocate. A few things. We need to be our children's advocate. We need to we need to be their voice for them, which is their advocate. We need to give them the voice to be able to say things. We need to teach in the teachable moments, but we need to hold them accountable for their behavior as well.
100%.
And obviously teach things like you can be upset, you can be sad, you can be miserable, you can have a really bad day, but you do not break anything and you do not hurt anybody and you do not make that our problem. And I don't mean, when I say don't make that our problem, obviously those are big words that I'm using. But what I mean, and when we express it to our children is, but we don't hurt people or make their day bad because we've had a bad day. So would you like to come here, sit with me, and tell me about it?
Oh, Pakame used to get beatings as kids. No, that's terrible. I mean, my kids, I get so upset when they break stuff, and it's not about them breaking stuff. It's for some reason, my kids feel that they're going to get into so much trouble if they break a glass, and they're normally barefoot. So they break something and they run. And I'm like, so you must excuse me, Judy, if you come here and you hear anything break, you're going to hear me screaming, stand still, don't move. Because my son, you know, the window that the door that goes is facing on the beach, Judy. Skulk put his hand through that whole glass thing. And I was upstairs and I just hear this huge glass breaking and then I hear his feet.
No, I would have lost my mind.
No, and it's so bad. So I do scream, but I scream, stand still, don't move. And then I go down and I pick them up and I put them in a safe place. It's so bad.
I can count. Look, I screamed at my older children. As I said, parenting Ben and parenting Hamish is really two different ballparks, okay? I will say 6 of them. I was running ragged all the time. 4 of them are boys, really close together. You know, how I'm not completely grey, I don't know. I don't scream at Hamish that often. But if I do, you've got to know that I've reached a point where I'm done now. I'm finished. We're not having this conversation anymore. And it's usually like that. And then I'll sit with him afterwards and I'll go, Mommy screamed at you and she's sorry, but this is why I screamed. Or if I just scream for no real reason, I'll go like, Mommy shouldn't have been screaming, but I was feeling angry. You know, like when you were feeling angry the other day, and it doesn't happen often. But what I think is so great is that I now see him yesterday, for example, Lynn, we've completely cut our mid-afternoon sleep. Okay, so he's tired. So at 2-3 o'clock, this kid is a mess. He's like, one of us are going to start a war. And yesterday, he was getting highly frustrated because he just could not make the scorpion with his building block. Don't ask me to make it. I don't know. Like, you make those things. I don't. And I looked at him and I said, I think it's time we put everything down. Your brain is tired. Let's relax. And he said to me, do I have to nap? I was like, no. You're not napping, but let's have a calm down time. So he lay down and he wanted a movie. So we put the movie on and he chilled a bit and he was really happy. And I said to him, do you want to go for a walk? And he was like, no, I'm good. I was like, okay, well, that's fine. And he got up later and he said, I think I like that calm down. And so it's so important to teach them and give them the skills. Because this is the thing, this is where we're finding with adults, when you get to become an adult, you just don't know anything all of a sudden. But it starts when we're little by giving those skills to our children so that they can get there.
Yeah, and the part of the skills, like you said, like sometimes I lose my shit. I'm a human being and I'm a mom. And then I kind of lose it and I shout. But the fact that I always calm myself down and I go back to them and I say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have shouted at you. No matter what you do, I shouldn't shout like that. That is me showing them how to behave. And it's part of teaching them. And I think Jacqueline said she's like that too, and she'll explain why she's sad. It's not actually good to show the kids that we're perfect and we don't shout, we're not sad, we don't have emotions. I feel it's actually good when we do show emotions and we explain to the children and we talk to them and we have a conversation around it.
But also, Lynn, I'm expecting my 5-year-old to take responsibility for his behavior. And then I shout at him and I don't want to take responsibility for mine.
100%.
So,
totally.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Judy, I think we're going to move away from this because we've got to talk about other stuff and we're already like an hour and 15 minutes in. So
I know, I'm looking at this. What are we talking about, Lynn? Tell me.
I want to talk about babies wiggling out of car seats. So I just want to put my banner up here.
Good.
Sure. Okay, so ladies, the next competition is win a 250 Rand coupon for a kid. And what I want to discuss, let me see, my brain is not working today. Let me just see here, screen share, window, Chrome tab.
I find every week I'm saying it was a long week.
It's always a long week. Okay, so I'm on for it.
I know. I'm starting to feel like it was a long year.
It's been a long 2 years. Okay. Stocks this amazing toddler clip. Now, I never bought one of these because I didn't know they existed when my kids were babies. But they are fantastic. So I'm just,
and it works.
$60. And you clip it onto, you got the safety, the seatbelt that comes down like this, and then you clip it between these two straps so they can't be pulled apart. Let me just stop sharing so I can see what I'm doing. So, I mean, when my kids were babies, I'll be driving and I'll turn around and both their arms are out and they're like all over the place. It used to drive me absolutely batty. So how are you ladies? I mean, how do you cope with getting your kid in the car seat and keeping them strapped in properly? And I remember one of the days my daughter was, I was dropping off a creche. She was, I can't remember how old she was, but she was a toddler and she was fighting me when I was putting in the car seat. Next thing she's screaming, but before, so she was fighting me. And then for 2 seconds, she just went completely still and quiet. And then she started screaming blue murder. And I'm like, what have I done? What have I done? And I've clipped her chubby little thigh in when I clipped the car seat.
Brent did that to Hamish, Lynn. We went out for supper and next thing, and I'm on crutches. So he put him into the car seat and he clipped his little leg and I didn't know why he was crying. And when I came home and changed his nappy and saw the mark, I wanted to burst out crying. I was like, such bad parents.
I did cry. I cried all the way home. It was awful. Oh, no.
From that moment on, one of us put our hands between his thigh and the thing before we really things that they teach you. I used one of those harnesses when Hamish was a little bit older, not so much when he was a baby, but when he was a little bit older, because taking his hands out of and moving himself out of the car seat, he wouldn't climb out. He was quite happy to sit in the car seat. He just didn't want to keep his arms in the straps.
Here's a funny story. People talking about kids saying you must give something to chew on them or give them something to keep busy. I had such a funny experience once. I was about to drive to Cape Town and just as I came out of Langebaan and I turned onto the West Coast Road, there's a cop there and he's pulling cars over and I'm like, oh, was I speeding? Is my lights out? Like what? I stopped the car and he's a big he looks at me and he looks at my two kids in their car seats in the back. He swung down your window and I'm like, wound down my window and I'm like, hello, officer, what have I done? He goes, I need to ask you something. And I'm like, what? He says, how do you keep them still in the back? I looked at him and I answered honestly and I'm like, a big bag of flings. And he looks again, and there's a flings, and these kids are eating. I said, flings. You give them a packet of flings. I'm driving to Cape Town, a big bag of flings. I was going to be fined.
We had a bag packed for Hamish when he was a baby. Okay, it was a car bag. It was all the 30 million things from the house that would need to keep him busy and occupied in the car. So, and if we did a really long road trip, we did Cape Town to Durban and back. I sat in the back. I was like, I'm done. There's no way I'm going to keep coming back. So I sat in the back and drove. And I felt so bad because I looked like I was driving to Durban in an Uber. But there was no way I was going to leave this tiny baby in there. Well, he wasn't a baby. He was about 14 months old.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And for a kid, also do those trays, those car seat trays that you can attach to.
Yes.
To play.
You've got a bag thing, and you can pack all the kids' activities and their toys, and then you've got the tray as well, so that they can do something while they're driving. Four kids got those.
I love
things.
those projects.
Beautiful. Yeah. Love that.
Yeah. But something I did notice is we never had a problem getting Hamish into his car seat. He loved his car seat. He would sit there for hours. And then one day he just started screaming. And he was 3.5, and he suddenly didn't want to get in his car seat. And what had happened was that he was out of his nappies. And the car seat was incredibly hard. And so when we were driving long distance, and at that point we were doing Kaboutjie to Tableview, basically, his bum was getting sore. So we had to change his car seat because his bum was getting sore.
Oh, shame, man.
No.
Okay, so let me pick a winner. Boom. So we got Siska van Niekerk. You have won a 250 Rand coupon for a kid. Just inbox me at Kaboutjie, and I will organize it for you a little bit later. But I think, this is a fantastic discussion about kids and car seats. I'm so grateful now that my kids are older, because when they were babies and you had to make a trip, I had to time it, and the naps and the food and the nappy change. And my daughter, there's 2 years between them, so I had to try to find the ultimate time to make a trip. It was absolutely insane. And I mean, there was one time I drove from Swellendam to Saldanha back from my parents, and I can just say, that was the worst trip of my life, with both of them performed almost the entire way, screaming, crying. Oh.
When my older kids were little, we would always travel at night, Lynn, because then they'd be asleep.
I don't drive so good at night.
I wasn't driving, so it was okay.
I don't like. I don't feel when the lights come, driving at night, when there's no street lights, I just I can't. I mean, I can judge the distance, but I don't feel. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I can't accurately judge it, so I don't usually overtake anybody, and I drive really, really slow. And I don't enjoy it. I find it a bit of a strain. Maybe I'm getting really old. But we were talking about olds because we weren't talking about grades. We were talking about sub A and sub B with Amanda.
I think we give our age away every single time we do these shows.
I'm 42. I'll just put it out there. 42.
I'm 47. I'm proud of it.
Swellendam, my parents live there, in between Swellendam and Bonnievale. In between Swellendam and Bonnievale. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Love it there. Okay, so next, let's talk about happy event body butter. So Judy, when is the 8th of December? What is today? It's 19th of November.
I don't know why you think I'm the 8th of December is. Are you coming to me?
No, I've got a doctor's appointment and I need to leave my kids somewhere.
No, bring them to me.
and I've got to leave my kids somewhere. So talking about I never leave my kids anywhere, I trust Judy, and my husband trusts you. He wants to see you and your hubby, by the way. He's been asking about it.
Oh, yeah, mine's asking me for bromance dates.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so why I'm asking is because number one, I want you to look after my kids. Number two, I want to pick up my behind the scenes t-shirt. Number three, I want to give you some happy event body butter.
Oh, sorry, guys. No, I didn't go anywhere.
I don't see you. Oh, there you are.
You're not supposed to see me.
Yeah, Judy, behind the scenes t-shirts. We're going to be like matching twinsies with our shirts. It's going to be so cool. Behind the scenes. That's so awesome. Cool. So, Judy, here's the interesting thing is what's the first thing you do when you buy yourself some body cream, bath wash, face product? What's the first thing you do?
I smell it.
Sorry?
I'm smelling it.
It's fragrance free.
No way.
Yeah. So it's fragrance free. It's for stretch marks. I've got lots of those.
Tiger stripes.
Are you breaking up?
Yeah, I see the signal's a bit bad. Tiger stripes.
Yeah, I've got a couple of tiger stripes still, and yeah, so I'm loving using this, and it's quite interesting because I thought I wouldn't like fragrance free. I saw fragrance free, and I thought, yeah, the first thing I like to do is sniff it, but it's got a very slight fragrance. I mean, it's not completely no smell, obviously, but it's actually really nice. And I was surprised by that. Anyway, warning: it's fragrance free when you get it. Because that's also the first thing that I do every single time is I smell it, and that makes my first impression. Well, there was something I bought recently that it's got two creams. It's got the night cream and the day cream, and I'm actually going to review it. And I really like both creams, the results, but the one is avocado, and the other one is I can't remember what the other one is. The smell, but the avocado one just doesn't smell right. And my husband said the one he smelled them both. He says the one smells like something and the other one smells like ass.
I don't want to know how he knows.
No comment on that. Yeah. So anyway, this giveaway.
When Ray comes up with these.
Yeah. So the giveaway.
No, it's okay. There's a lag.
Yeah, there's a lag. So this will last 6 months.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let me have a look at my comments quickly. I will review those. And the thing is, it doesn't smell nice, but it really works well. Not this. I'm talking about the other creams. Okay. Davida, you're going to win the Happy Event hamper. I haven't actually reviewed this yet on my website. I've reviewed the Happy Event firming cream, which is fantastic. That smells absolutely divine. It's got, I think it's called Pepper Slim in it. Pepper Slim, is that the right name? Anyway,
I don't know.
that was really fantastic. I love it. I've still got some of that here. But this is for the fragrance-free Happy Event. So 6 of those. Just inbox me at Kaboutjie, and I will sort it out for you. Now, let me get my banner, take that away. Judy, I'm loving, by the way, I spoke last week about Y-Sense, right? You remember that?
Yes.
So I have not had the app on my phone until recently for Y-Sense. Y-Sense is it's a platform where you can do certain things to earn money, including surveys, offers. They used to have tasks, but they've taken that off now. And I've never added the app to my phone because I don't like adding loads of apps. I don't actually like my phone, put it that way. So what I did recently is I actually added the app to my phone. I can't remember why. And I saw now that I've got access to more surveys. There's different surveys available on my phone and they are on the website. So I'm able to do more surveys, and I've got access to play games. So I download games, I connect it to the app, and then I don't like playing games on my phone either, but my kids do. And I was earning, I mean, you're not going to get rich doing surveys. I mean, that's just a fact. But I like letting it build up and add up. And then every now and then when I have like an emergency, I can cash out. Like recently, I just cashed out $125. So I let it sit there and just build up. And then when I'm in the dwang, I cash it out. So $125 is pretty nice. But I've earned in total, I think, close on $1,400 since 2015 on this site. So that's not, I mean, that's like $1,400. I mean, that's nearly 20,000 Rand.
It's nice. It's nice pocket money.
It's nice pocket money, and it's not something I do every day and I sit and I work on. It's I promote it, I've reviewed it, a very honest review. I'll pop my review in the comments for anybody that wants to. And I've added in the fact that you can play games. But I was earning maybe $10 a month on that, on average, not doing much. And now, since I've added in the app and I've added in playing games, I give the phone to my kids every day and they play games. And now I've earned, I don't know, let me go check. I think I've earned $30 this month, $29. And I only added the app on last week. So it's gone from $10 a month to over $30 a month already. So I'm interested to see what I earn next month. Sorry?
I said, that's not bad at all.
No, it's not bad. And like I say, I'm not doing it. My kids are doing it. They're earning me money. They want to know if they can cash out and keep the cash. I'm like, hell no. That's mine. You get to use my phone. That's your benefit.
My older kids would cash out themselves, and Hamish is too young for games.
Yeah, well.
So I do it myself, I think.
Taryn wants to know, is it legit? It's 100% legit. I've just added my link in to the review on my website, so you can go and have a look. I can even show it to you. Let me just get it up here. I can show you the site. Share screen, share tab. I showed you guys the site last week. Okay, so you can see here I've got, I don't know how clearly you can see my screen here. So here I've got an available balance of $41. The lifetime amount I've earned from this is $1,415, which means I've cashed out over the years approximately $1,400. I've earned today $1.10, yesterday $2.89, this month $32.05, last month $16.95, this year $131. So you can see, that it works, and I've cashed out. I went recently away to where did I go? Oh, I went to Berg River, and I didn't have much cash, and I'd already booked and paid for the deposit. I didn't have money for the rest of the fees, and I cashed out the $125, and I paid for my holidays. So it really comes in hand.
They're asking how it pays out.
How it pays out. Let me see if I can share my screen again.
It's with PayPal.
Okay, so if you want to cash out, you just click on this button over here, which says cash out. And you can cash out in a variety of ways. So you can cash out as an Amazon gift card. You can cash out through Payoneer or PayPal. And there's a reward link Italy. I think that's only for Italy, and I've never used that. There's Skrill. Don't touch that. Skrill screwed me. Yeah, I don't even want to go there. So I've used PayPal, Payoneer, and I've used Amazon before. The only thing is Payoneer, you need to build up at least $52 into your ClickSense account before you can cash out to Payoneer, and then they deduct. I think ClickSense deducts $2. And then $50 goes into your Payoneer, and you can only cash out in South Africa from Payoneer to your bank account when you have $50 or more. So if you've got PayPal, you can cash out anything from $10. So PayPal is usually the one I use because I use that often for my international payments, but I also use Payoneer regularly. So Payoneer is It's cheaper, it's quicker, it's easier, but you do need to have $50 to cash out. So yeah, cashing out is pretty easy, and PayPal can be a little bit complicated to connect your bank account to. Payoneer is a lot quicker and easier. So Pakime, it's the, I'll just add in my review again, so you can go click through, and please click through from my review to sign up, because that's one of the ways that I earn. I do surveys, I play the games. There are offers which I don't really do. If you read my review, you'll see why. But I don't do the offers because they say sign up to this and go for a paid account or stay past the trial and then you get paid out. But I don't want to sign up to 50 different places, even though the amount you earn is more than the amount you pay, like for the first month or something on whatever offer. I'm not doing that. I'm not signing up to hundreds of places and then having to like cancel accounts. It's not my scene. What's the difference between PayPal and Payoneer? Okay, so PayPal is much more widely used. You can cash out any amount from PayPal to your bank account, but it takes a bit of longer time. It usually takes about 5 days for it to go from PayPal to your bank account. Also, the fees are higher with PayPal. With Payoneer, it's not so complicated to connect your bank account to Payoneer. It's not so complicated even to cash out. And I think PayPal, it's better to have F&B if you want to connect the two. I'm with F&B anyway, so it's easy for me. But if you're not with F&B, it can get complicated from PayPal to your bank account. If you're with Payoneer, you can connect very easily to any bank account, and it usually takes about 2 days to cash out from Payoneer to your bank. I think that's pretty much it. I like Payoneer. I get paid via Amazon. I get paid via PayPal. I've got content writing I do that gets paid to Payoneer. So, the downside of having to have $50 in your Payoneer account doesn't really apply to me because I usually have more than 50. I've always got money coming in there. So that's cool. Yeah, Tamara says the canceling is annoying. I mean, I don't want to sign up. It's not just the canceling. It's I don't want to sign up with 50 sites. And, every time you give your email address and you sign up for something, you don't know if they're going to spam the living daylights out of you and sell your details and stuff. I don't like that at all.
Sorry, I had you on mute.
Why?
And I couldn't understand why you couldn't. I was asking Hamish if it was okay. He's so quiet. Like when your child just goes quiet, you need to. And I couldn't understand why you didn't hear me. It's Friday. I was just going to say, with PayPal, I went into F&B and I went, hi, I don't understand. Please help me. And the lovely teller behind the till set up my PayPal for me. Obviously, I have an F&B account, but it was quick. It was really, really quick. Yeah.
Look, I love PayPal. I love F&B. So I don't have an issue with that. I remember the first time I had to connect my PayPal and F&B, I didn't go in and get help. And it frustrated the living daylights out of me. Of course, that was years ago. But it was a pain in the ass. So Payoneer was very quick, very efficient. And like I say, you can do it to any bank account. And like I say, if I cash out from PayPal to my bank account, it takes about 5 days. If I do it from Payoneer to my bank account, as long as it's during the week, it takes 2 days. Yeah, Tamara, I think it depends what bank you're with. PayPal can take anything from 3 to 5 days. Yeah. Payoneer is usually 1 to 2 days. So it is a bit of a difference there. And then somebody asked, I didn't answer your question here, Jill. Can you pay money from Payoneer to PayPal? I've tried to do it. I have not figured it out. I'm not sure if you can do it. And I've looked up a lot of times. And there have been some sites explaining something on how to do it. But it was so complicated. I don't know if I'm dumb or if it's like high grade stuff, or maybe it just can't be done. So I don't know. But I haven't been able to do it. Yeah, awesome. So I can click off wise things. Here's our other giveaway. And I want to just put it up here. Okay, so win a Luna and Jelly Express kit. This giveaway is to collect in Durban. and it's made up of, now I need to remember, information booklets on periods. So it's a period pack for young girls. My daughter just turned 10. I got a really nice not express kit. I got the Lunar Primrose kit, and it was absolutely amazing. I've actually reviewed it on my website. Let me just get the link quickly. It is a, whoopsie, Luna and Jelly. Yeah, it's really one of the things that I've been. Okay, so one of the things that I've been busy working with over the last few months is my daughter recently turned 10, and I have, the banner reads Durbanville. You've got to collect in Durbanville, Cape Town. Not Durban, Durbanville. It is correct. Banner, Davida says banner reads Durbanville. Yes, it does. So the kit that I got was the Lunar Primrose pack, and that's got the beautiful bag that the Luna and Jelly, it's branded, and it comes with panty liners, pads, marshmallows, hot chocolate, some sweeties, information booklets, and it comes with a heating pad, a microwavable, the little heating bean bag, and it's absolutely amazing. Now, the express pack is smaller. It hasn't got the bags. It's got the information packs. It's got the the panty liners, the pads, the information booklets, and hot chocolate and some sweeties. And it's really fantastic. So the information booklets, one is addressed to mom, one is addressed to your daughter, and it's addressed to her personally. It's absolutely beautiful. Oh, Jill, you actually spoke to Melanie because she's interested in the beanbag for your daughter. It's that was my daughter's favorite part of the pack. It's absolutely beautiful. So the information booklets are fantastic, and I think we've discussed about this before. It's, I could have just gotten a pack of pads for my daughter, stuck it in a little bag, put it in her school bag, and said, like, good luck, my child. Here's your stuff. You kitted, and she would have been kitted. But it's about creating that specialness around the milestone and not having it as oh no, I don't want to get my period, or I'm scared, or I don't understand, or something like that. So it's a very, very special pack that is addressed to your daughter. It's got all the information she needs on, what is a period, what can she expect, what happens if she bleeds through, what about period pains, how to use a pad, all the different options for periods of, how she can, all the different period products, the disadvantages and advantages of each one. So for me, top notch, absolutely beautiful. And I added a link to my review, so you can go check that out.
I
rave. Jill says I said Durban. Durbanville. Sorry.
I rave over Melody's Luna kits. I really do. I just believe every little girl should have this.
Definitely. Sorry, I said Durban. Where's my? You know what? It's getting late, and I'm getting tired. I think that's the problem. So, ladies, if you're on Cape Town and you can collect in Durbanville and then pop it down. Melody says it's okay. I've been called Victoria once. I'm going to call you Victoria from now on. That's so bad.
I'm so bad with names.
No, I'm sorry. How did they even get that? Okay, Joel, you ready to collect? Okay, perfect. Joel Stoffels, you've won the Luna and Jelly pack. Congratulations. Clearly my brain is like, it's fried now. It's done. I've had a week though. I've actually had one of those weeks. I'm having some medical problems and I've been in and out of the doctors. I might have to go for a colonoscopy. I don't want to do it. and a gastro, whatever. So one up this hole, one down this hole, to see there's something not quite right. So anyway, I wanted to also just share again my Hada Labo Tokyo products. We are loving this. And I say we, I'm talking about me and my husband. So my husband wants to steal all of my beautiful skincare products, but he's now told me he doesn't want to completely steal it. He wants to use it, but not him put it on himself. He's decided that I am his personal care person, and now I have to give him a facial every evening after his shower. Judy, you're laughing.
I am. I think that's lovely. I would tell Brent to go and do it himself, but I think that's lovely.
Listen, my husband has been going through a bit of a hard time lately. His car died, and it's going to cost him $45,000 to fix it. Now, I wish I could say that I had 45K just sitting in my back pocket, which I could say, here, honey, have this. And he doesn't have 45K sitting in his back pocket either. So he's got to cough up 45,000 from nowhere to fix his car. And you know what? So when he comes after his shower and he gives me this little puppy dog face and he's like, please, would you put this stuff on my face? I said, okay, honey, I'll do it. You know, I feel so bad for him. And you know what? Men and their cars is one thing. My husband and his car, it is another thing entirely. It's like his car is his temple. He sits there, do more surveys. I'm doing it. I'm going to be on my phone doing surveys when I'm done. But I mean, my heart breaks for him. His car, my husband, his car is his baby. He sits there, I mean, he wet wipes it. He goes into the garage with a pack of wet wipes and he slowly but surely wet wipes his entire car. I don't know why a wet wipe. I mean, why not a cloth? But anyway, I mean, he sits there and he looks, I feel so bad for him. And his car is like dead, absolutely dead. And that's for a refurbished engine, not even a new engine. He's got to have his whole engine replaced with a secondhand refurbished. My poor husband. So yes, I'm doing his face every night. If he wins the lotto, I'm going to be like, do it yourself, man. Hire somebody.
Well, Brent's still running, so he can do his own facials.
No. On to the next thing. Judy, I found this quite interesting. How many ladies use their phone in the bath?
Me. Hello.
Yeah. So Judy tells me it was last night. She dropped her phone in the bath. And I did this myself. And I did this when my phone was quite new. So my phone was maybe 3 months old. And I dropped it. I had it in my nightgown pocket as I leaned over to turn the taps off. And my phone dropped into my bubble bath, like right in. And I got it out so fast. But my phone is fine. And it's a Samsung. I don't know what my phone is because I'm like that. It's a Samsung. Where do you get your phone info?
No, I don't know. My children tell me what my phone is.
About phone? Ooh, the Galaxy A71. And my phone was fine. I gave it a bit of a hair drying session. And then I did that thing where you take it apart and you put everything in rice for the night. My phone's fine. And I spoke to someone that said the new Samsungs, you can literally just dunk it in the water. I mean, I don't advise you do it on purpose.
No, mine was more, I was butt naked, ready to get into the bath. And I go into the bath, it's like everyone's asleep. Well, everyone's asleep. Hamish is asleep. Brent is watching a movie. And I have a clicker at the back, which I would be lost without. And my clicker actually becomes like a little stand. And then I put it on the side of the bath. And right next to it, I have my coffee cup, and I'm good to go, right? But my husband had used the bath before me. And I did not think to check if the bath was dry. So as I put it down, my phone slipped right in the bath. I promise you the fear was equivalent to, I don't know, the world shattering around me. My hand has never got into a hot bubble bath so quickly. Pulled that thing out. Like my neighbors could have come in. I was not worried. I literally shook out the USB ports, Lynn, and I'm drying the thing, and it's still working. And I'm like, what? Now, I don't know how to take a Samsung apart. I've got an S10. I don't know how to take the battery out. Like, where would I even take the battery out? Okay,
I can't remember what I did. I just ripped it apart and put it in. Right.
I wouldn't even know. I switched it off. I switched it back on, and it came back on. And it said, we've detected water in your USB. And I was like, no shit. It went for a swim. Of course there's water. And I was like, this thing's dead. I let it run down, and I was like, please be working in the morning. Okay, I have my computer, and all my apps are on my computer. Everything is backed up because my daughter taught me how to use the cloud. So everything is backed up to the cloud, and I have all my apps on Hamish's phone, which was my spare phone. So no, you can't. I'm still talking. So I wasn't too stressed, but I was really freaking out because I left the camera off my phone. Well, now I have a clean camera and a bath phone, and it works beautifully and charges.
I'm grateful. I didn't know that a lot of phones now are waterproof. I thought you had to get one of those fancy sort of specific, waterproof phones, but apparently a lot of them now are just waterproof.
Well, I don't know what it is, but I am so grateful.
So Biso says her son took the phone into the bath and said he's bathing with the phone. Do you know what my son did last night? He told me, he said, Mom, is this blue thing for shaving your feet? I'm like, okay, I've never shaved my feet, but whatever. So I said, no, don't touch that. So after he got out the bath, I went to take the water out. There's long hairs like this, like a whole whack of them in the bath. And I look at the razors, all these, and I don't know what he shaved, but it looks like he must have shaved the back of his head or something. This boy, I tell you, the one time this is the second time I left my razor next to the bath by mistake. The first time when he came out, he says to me, I shaved everywhere. And I'm like, dude, you're not supposed to touch that. So, yeah, I must remember now, pack the razor away. And I hardly ever shave anyway because I'm doing laser. I laser myself now. But so I must really put that razor away.
But that's kids for you. They just want to do what we do. Okay, the people are all saying hello, Hamish. Say hello quickly. Hello. Okay, blow everyone a kiss. And so you've been good, Ferdinand can tell us if you earn your rides. Okay. Off you go, back to your room. He's been so good and so quiet.
Oh, everybody's like, hello, Hamish. There he is. Like, always joking at the end. Awesome. But I think we basically, I don't have anything else that we need to.
I just want to add quickly that I don't know how many of you still have toddlers, but PlaySense are running such an awesome webinar at the moment. And there's a sign-up link on my Facebook and my Instagram. It's called Positive Boundaries for Toddler Behavior. And, we have such strong-willed little children. And how do you put those boundaries in without breaking their spirits? And Meg is so amazing with her knowledge and her information. And I've done quite a few of her webinars. And I love them. I love sitting through them. And they're also giving away quite a few prizes from Tower Kids. So Tower Kids do the school labels and stickers and stuff like that. And then the other thing is, so as you also all know, I don't do many giveaways just because I really have to 100% stand behind the giveaway. It's a lot of time. So if I invest in the giveaway, it's usually something I absolutely love. And I'm just going to say you might want to be watching my website over the next couple of weeks because we have some really awesome hampers coming up. And there'll be 2 tickets to this webinar with Meg on my website today. After this, I'll be putting the post up. And there was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember. It's Friday. Hamish, running is better, thankfully. COVID is now officially out of my house, but I can leave it. I have been in this house for 2 weeks. So I'm pulling my hair out slowly. There's nothing worse than not being sick and being stuck inside. And we do it all the time, Lynn. You know, whenever somebody even shows the slightest amount of being ill, Hamish and I automatically go into isolation. I feel like so much of this year has been us in isolation.
It has been. It definitely has been. I know how many times you've said you're isolating, and it's horrific.
It's just, you know what I think is Brent has been vaccinated, and whilst we've shown no signs of being ill, we were really ill a couple of weeks at the beginning of last month. And we had, although we tested negative for COVID, we had so many COVID symptoms. And I was still really ill after that for quite a while. And I would hate to be the person infecting somebody. So I'm super cautious. I probably don't need to be as cautious as I am, but I don't want to be the person infecting somebody else.
Do you have any of those tests left still? Those COVID tests, home tests?
No, I'm done. I used the last one on Ronan.
I'll bring you some more next when I come.
Thank you.
That'll be payment for looking after my kids.
You know I'll look after them.
I'll bring you gifts.
And she brings me COVID tests. I love that though. I must tell you,
going in and having a test one.
But I must tell you that Ronan only did it in his mouth because he was too much of a wimp to put it up his nose. And his COVID was so developed by that stage. Actually tested just from his mouth. And I was like, I think I could actually write a book on COVID right now. That is how I feel. We just seem to have gone through, but it has. It's this year. I was saying to Lynn, it's the first year I'm stopping and taking a holiday. In 5 years of my blog running, this year is the first year that from the 16th, my blog will be quiet. But when I say that, you'll still see me on social media because I just can't get off Instagram. And I'll still do the lives with Lynn. But I've literally worked myself to the point where unless it's urgent, there will not be any blog posts for at least 2 weeks. I'm going to take a break before the new year.
Good for you, Judy. You need it. Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. I think we're all done. Hamish, where are you, Hamish? He's got to be
Hamish! Now you hear me scream. Hamish! Oh no, now he doesn't want anything to do with us. How typical is that, Lynn?
Yeah, but I've got to tell him that he's done very well and that he gets his $50 worth of rides.
Yes, let me fetch him. Hamish! Auntie Lynn is calling you. Chris. I'm telling you, this is going to start costing me a lot.
Is it time?
It's time. Auntie Lynn's going to tell you.
You've been a very good boy and you've been very quiet. So I've said to your mum, you deserve that $50 worth of rides.
High five. Thank you for being so good. You want to say bye to everybody quickly?
Bye.
Bye, Hamish.
Okay, good. I'll come now.
Bye.
I think that's the quietest he's been since we started this.
No, he's been really good. Maybe because he knows that I'm going to be the judge.
No, I think so. But also, there's a movie on the computer if he's bored. He's got. No, hold on. What do we know?
I've got a python as a pet.
Python as a pet. Okay.
I just never showed it to you.
Well, I'm glad you never show it to me. I don't know what python this is, but yeah, there's a whole lot of toys. I set it up so that he could.
I got a python.
Okay, we're gonna say bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Cool stuff, Judy. I think we're done.
Yes, I think we're done. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Bye.